Are you a Tesla owner who's wondering why you're not getting the latest upgrade? Everybody else got it. All the kids on the message boards and forums already got it, and you still been waiting for it for a long time, and it's still not here. Well, I can relate. I've been waiting for the version 9 software for a while, even though I've been reporting it on it, well, on my show here. But only recently I figured out why I couldn't get it. And I have to say, it probably was one of the most frustrating experiences to figure it out. So I'm making this video to save yourself some time and, most importantly, probably anger management therapy money as well. Very frustrating. All of this is coming up next. Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric! Welcome to E4 Electric, your #1 source for unbiased electric car news. And this is your first time here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button so you don't miss anything moving forward, including you'll find out what I normally sound like when I'm not losing my voice like I am right now. All right, so here's the thing. I'm in my 6th year of Tesla ownership. I'm on my 3rd Tesla, and recently I've discovered that this version 9 software that came out, and there was a lot of hoopla about it, that I still didn't get it. And yes, a lot of times Tesla does this in batches, and so you don't always get it on the first or second day. Sometimes it takes a week. But I was like, wow, 2 months, that's a long time. So, I was busy, and there were a lot of such a negative feedback and none of the features that I really wanted out of it, that I was like, okay, I can wait, whatever. Never really pushed for it. So finally, I'm like, okay, where the hell is this? So I decided to Google around, and I found out that, Tesla decided that they're not going to do over-the-air updates using the cell phone connection. You have to have a Wi-Fi connection. I'm like, okay, all right, that's cool. I have Wi-Fi obviously here in my home, and it's a small home. So I go and I try to connect to it, and I can't. Now, let me just roll back a little bit. I'm already annoyed because, this is not the first time the car that's supposed to be getting better, all the features getting better with these updates, is actually getting worse. Because, when they sold me this car, I didn't know I had to worry about Wi-Fi in my garage. I didn't know I had to hold the, hands on the wheel when I'm, have an autopilot. And then lately, hands on the wheel is not even enough. You have to kind of yank it once in a while, let it know you're there. And what I was really annoyed about is that it's not like they put a message on my screen like they normally do saying, hey, there is a new upgrade coming up. Do you want to install it? And you say yes, and say, well, by the way, now you need to connect to Wi-Fi. No, nothing, like nothing at all. So I'm a bit annoyed by that. So I'm trying to connect, okay? And I can't. It sees my connection, but it can't connect. And I'm like, well, that's kind of odd. No, I start Googling around, and I guess if you have a like 5 gigahertz, a signal, it can't handle it. And I'm looking at it. I don't know, I have 2.4 gigahertz, so which should fit. And I go back and forth. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna call customer support, right? So I call customer support, an hour and 10-minute wait. And I'm like, this is really tough to take because, I'm already spent so much time on this. A customer support for any product shouldn't be an hour and 10-minute wait. Definitely not for a product that's, $70,000 and up. All right. But that was not the most frustrating part. What they told me on the phone was the most frustrating part. And by the way, before we get there, let me remind you that this show and this channel is sponsored by Avanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. And you never have to spend an hour and 10 minutes on the phone support with them. I promise you that. And there is a discount code in the description of this video, so you can start your holiday shopping early if you haven't already. All right. So back to my phone call with Tesla after, I waited for an hour and 10 minutes on the phone, on the hold. All right. So they're like, oh yeah, so how many bars do you have? I'm like, 1 bar. It's a garage. They're like, oh, no, you need 3. And I was like, what do you mean 3 bars? And who has perfect internet almost in the garage? It's a garage. That's where I have my washer and dryer and my cars and my hockey gear. None of them need Wi-Fi. They're like, no, well, it is how it is. And I go like, well, so what should I do? They're like, well, you can drive to a service center. I'm like, well, I could, but that's half an hour of driving one way. Then I have to wait for it to upgrade. Or even if I drive up anywhere where there's internet, that's a project. and every time, and I still don't know when I'm supposed to do it, when it's ready for my car. Is it part, they're like, yeah, that's just how it is. You can get a booster. And by the way, if you don't know what a booster is, it's the basically, it's a device that you go and pay money for and set up, where it takes your weak signal, internet signal, and boosts it up. I'm like, wait a second, now I have to buy stuff so your stuff still works the way it was before. They're like, yeah, that's just to wait. So I'm like, okay. You guys know that my ownership experience with Tesla hasn't been really good, and this is one of the reasons I'm considering leaving. And it's not the car, it's the service, right? It's such a simple thing that they could have helped me out. So anyway, now my solution was this: like, I don't really need to upgrade my stuff very often. So maybe when there's a major update, I'll do it. So I moved my modem to where my TV is in the living room. It gives enough signal, but of course, my car doesn't pick it up right away. That there's an update. I have to wait overnight. And then I was trying to turn my lights off. I have hue lights. I didn't, obviously, because they didn't again. So I ended up walking around the house, turning the lights off on my own, and then I tripped my alarm that I already set. It was a big mess. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully now you know that you have to have a strong signal, yes, in your garage, and that's the only way to do it. Or maybe you can do it at work or while you're shopping. If there's a strong Wi-Fi signal, you can do it. By the way, I know the screen will tell you that it's about an hour and like 30-minute wait for it to do it, but it's actually was only about 15-minute wait. Now, granted, my connection was pretty good at that time, and I don't want to guarantee it, but just so you know, your car will be disabled while that's happening. So hopefully I helped. If you have any other suggestions or workarounds, of course, please put it in the comment section. Maybe you can recommend some good anger management therapy classes for all of us. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.